The Atelier series is pretty cool. Cute people going on wholesome adventures, gathering things to make new things with magic, engaging in a fun combat system, what's not to love? This year, our overworked but still loving father Gust has smiled upon us, blessing us with 2 new games in the series, a mainline entry and a spin-off, one of which might be one of the best games in the entire series. We, however, are not going to be talking about that one today, but instead talk about the enjoyable, albeit nerve-wracking, Nelke and the legendary Alchemists, Ateliers of the New World. Now, that's a mouthful for even this series, so I shall henceforth refer to it as Atelier Nelke. It doesn't technically work since Nelke is the first protagonist with 0 alchemy talent, but I'm gonna stick with that for the sake of brevity. This celebration of 20 years of Atelier doesn't shy away from mixing up the formula. Like, you probably expected this to be another JRPG adventure, right? Well, no. Atelier Nelke, believe it or not, is a town-building simulator game. But don't exit out of the video just yet, because this game is honestly pretty fun. Yes, while with this new gameplay style comes a simplification of Atelier's core gameplay loop, by no means is this an easy game. Gone is the stress of completing assignments passed down to you by government officials, because now you're the government official. The game starts out with Nelke and her trusted maid Misty going to the unimpressive town of Westwald. Nelke is the daughter of a prestigious noble and has decided to bring new life to the town just to spite her father. From here, things quickly ramp up as Nelke has to manage and develop Westwald while trying to solve the mystery of why alchemists keep appearing in the town, being transported from other worlds. Trust me, I don't think the plot is going to win any awards. It's pretty minimal and just kind of exists as an excuse for character interaction. Alchemists from all across the series wander into the town periodically as the game goes on, which, let's be honest, this is why you're here. Nelke, adorable, don't get me wrong, but you want the fan service. You want to see your favorite alchemists having adorable banter. You want Vio getting unreasonably mad at Fierce for not liking carrots. You want Logi drawn in a new style and looking hot as ever. Holy shit. Oh my, calm down, get your bearings together, Cullen. Anyway, Atelier Nelke is happy to provide you that good, wholesome fan service you so desperately crave. When it comes to crossover games like this, striking the right balance between taking the plot seriously and giving your fans what they want can be tricky, but the interesting thing is Atelier Nelke throws the idea of any kind of balance out the window. And I kind of love it. The focus here is on giving players wonderfully written dialogue between beloved characters, with the challenging time management gameplay only serving to sweeten the pot. Here's the thing though, I really don't recommend this as your first Atelier game. Most, if not all of the fun comes from seeing characters you know and love interact, and while there's still a very competent town simulator underneath, the Atelier influence is what makes it special. Like I mentioned before, the gameplay for Nelke is simplified to its core. I think it helps though, thanks to the pick up and play nature of the game. Honestly, I'd say Atelier Nelke is perfect for the Switch. Gust actually delivered an extremely high quality port this time, which is good after how underwhelming the Lydian Sue port was. Instead of exploring like a normal Atelier game, the player is tasked with managing the different aspects of the town through a series of menus. You start with a simple plot of land, and after some tutorials are given the freedom to build whatever you think will help your town the most on it. There's a cycle to what you actually should build, though, and it makes for a satisfying gameplay loop that more or less makes up for how simple things have become. You're supposed to be doing all this at once, but to make it easier to understand, I'll break it up sequentially. First, you assign villagers to either gather materials from the field or farm them. Then you hire an alchemist to work at an atelier to turn those materials into items. And finally, you hire a shopkeeper to sell those items to make money. Money makes the world go round, and all this is done continuously to expand your town. The game is divided into a series of turns. The meat of the game is meticulously setting everything up before the turn ends. How do you want to spend your week? Do you focus on gathering, making it so that you don't have much to sell and break the town's bank? Do you spend what money you do have to build more establishments? Or do you crunch the numbers, lose some sleep, and figure out a way to balance everything at once and somehow manage to scrape by with a decent profit and a happy population? Believe me, it isn't all just mindless town sim shenanigans. You're constantly being given a variety of tasks by both your father and the villagers to keep everyone happy and keep yourself stressed. Thankfully, the game doesn't entirely omit the exploration Atelier is known for. After every turn, you're given time to explore the world, have your alchemists collaborate to research new ways to expand the town, and bond with the characters. Like the gameplay as a whole, exploration has been heavily streamlined, and I'm not really sure I'm happy with how much freedom was taken away. You pick a party of 5. I recommend Nelke and Misty with 3 alchemists for support. You'll thank me later. and then have the characters walk on their own from one point to another. The only thing you can actually control is if you walk or run. Walking is best for gathering, whereas running is good for clearing expeditions quickly and fighting enemies. I will give Nelke this though. Battles feel really fast-paced and fun. They can be pretty challenging too, and party management alongside having good bonds with your alchemists goes a long way. I'll be honest guys, despite enjoying this game a lot, I have to admit it feels sort of low budgeted compared to many of the other games in the series. But the charming interactions go a long way and elevate what could have been a very average town simulator. Gust could have just been lazy and made an easy fan service game to make a quick buck, but you could tell they tried their best with the funds they had. The music, 3D models, and new art for every returning character are all great. I know a lot of people aren't going to like the gameplay changes, but I had a lot of fun with Atelier Nelke despite that. Besides, we got a rather fantastic Atelier game months later anyway. I'm not sure if I would say this game is necessarily fantastic, but it's solid, especially for a unique Atelier experience you can take on the go. If you pick this up, you're in for a very fun B-. Just be ready to lose some sleep in the process.
But alas, this story does not have a happy ending. Nelke simply spent too much time oogling Logi, and not enough time balancing Vestable's budget. The town quickly fell into ruin thanks to her poor leadership. The people, pushed to the brink of starvation by famine and poor harvests, revolted. Nelke was soon overthrown and banished, never to be horny on Maine again. Cullen, what the fuck are you making me read?